A long, long time ago there lived a skilled hunter called Da Trang. Every day he would go hunting along the same trail, and on this trail was a shrine where two serpents lived. At first he was scared of them, but they never harmed him, so he stopped worrying and began to realize that they were quite beautiful. One day while hunting, he heard a horrible noise and ran over to see what was going on. A giant snake was attacking the two serpents. Da Trang shot the snake with his bow and killed it. But it was too late. One of the serpents was already dead. Feeling much remorse, Da Trang gave it a proper burial. That night the remaining serpent came to him in his dreams. It thanked him for saving them from danger and for giving its mate an honorable burial. As a token of gratitude, the serpent dropped a pearl from its mouth and said, "Place this beneath your tongue, as it will help you understand the language of animals." Da Trang woke up and found a beautiful pearl beside his pillow. He placed the pearl beneath his tongue as he set out for the forest to hunt that day. The first animal that he came upon was a deer. He fired a shot but missed, and it ran away. To his surprise, a crow nearby screamed, "I see the deer's flight. It's 100 paces to the right." He followed the crow's advice and easily brought down his prey. The crow spoke again and asked Da Trang for its reward. The hunter gave the bird all the deer's parts, which served him no use. From then on, Da Trang and the crow agreed to hunt together. One afternoon, Da Trang shot and killed a wild pig. As usual, he cut the pig open and left its guts on the ground for the crow. But another bird came and stole them. By the time the crow arrived, there was nothing left. Quickly, it flew to the hunter's house and protested. Da Trang insisted that he left the entrails as promised, but the crow did not believe him and accused him of being a liar. The young man became angry by this. He fired an arrow at the crow but missed. The crow seized the arrow with its claws, furiously screaming revenge, and flew off. Several days later, Da Trang was arrested. A poisoned arrow bearing his name had been discovered in the body of a drowned man. In spite of his protests of innocence, he was thrown in jail. The young man then spent days and weeks in prison. One day, he saw a parade of ants scurrying across the prison walls. He asked them why they were in such a rush. They told him that a great flood was coming. Da Trang then told the guard, who told the warden, who told the king. And the king, though skeptical, ordered that necessary measures be taken. Indeed, 3 days later, a very big flood swept across the land. Grateful for having saved everyone in the kingdom, the king ordered Da Trang to be released and appointed as his advisor. Da Trang used his abilities to keep the kingdom safe from storms and floods, and life was very good for a while. One beautiful spring morning, as Da Trang went sailing with the king, he heard strange voices beneath the waves. Looking over the side, he saw a bunch of cuttlefish swimming along the royal barge, singing a joyous tune. The sight of them made him so happy that he began to laugh, and soon he was laughing so hard that the pearl slipped from his mouth and fell into the water. Appalled, Da Trang leapt from the boat and searched desperately for his pearl. He called out to the king and asked his men to help. Soon dozens of men were wading in the waters, but their efforts were fruitless. Day after day, week after week, Da Trang searched for the pearl and still couldn't find it. Yet he still stayed there for months. Soon years passed, and Da Trang continued to sift through handfuls of sand. Yet he never found the pearl again. He wept endlessly, retreated into misery, and died an unhappy man. He passed on his inconsolable soul to the tiny sand crabs, who now hurry from hole to hole, endlessly turning every grain of sand in an attempt to search for the magic pearl.